All right. Good afternoon, class, and welcome to week number 6. That is right, week number 6 of your 9410 class, which is your Cultural Heritage Seminar class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. J.S.K. Austin, and we are going to keep this video kind of short this week. I know I say that a lot, probably every week, but it's going to be really true this week, and the reason for that is because you actually have videos that you all have to watch. So, the thing is, like, all of the videos are kind of different lengths. Some are only 20 minutes and some are 2 hours. I apologize for those of you who get one of the longer videos. But I hope you enjoy it. But, there was no reason sorry. There was no way to actually make the video watching lengths truly equitable. Yes, you all have documentaries to watch this week, as you will see in your discussion prompt. You all will see that each of you should be assigned a documentary that you will be watching, and you will provide a review of that documentary. And in fact, one thing that I think I'm going to do is I'm probably going to provide a sample. If I can, I'll provide a sample review from last semester that you all can watch. But I'm really excited about this week. This week is probably the beginning of the more fun modules. What you had in the first 5 weeks were more so, they were more so introductory modules, and so your readings in those introductory modules were kind of to lay a foundation, and they were to help you, just to help you gain the foundational knowledge that you needed in order to proceed with the class. Now I feel the class gets a little more fun. I think that from now on, the readings will be a little more interesting because it'll be less of a focus on the readings that are there in order to get you the foundational knowledge that you need. And now you can actually explore the more fun topics to just read about and discuss. And I think that this module was actually the most fun module that my classes, not my classes, but that my spring 2021 class had. They really, really, really enjoyed the music module, and so I'm hoping that the same will be the case for you all. But there are some things that I want to talk about when it comes to the music module, but I want to say a few other things first. So I'm going to pause the video and pull up some information here related to your syllabus and what's going on with the state of the course. Then I'll return to the module. Give me one moment. Okay, so really when it comes to first things being first, the first thing that I do want to just really, really quickly say is that your NetSync session isn't for a month, okay? I'm recording this on February 21st, your NetSync session, which will be with Andrea, sorry, I just blanked out. Andrea Jackson Gavin, because she was just Andrea Jackson when I first met her, but she is married now. So Andrea Jackson Gavin, she will be speaking to us about preservation at historically Black colleges and universities, archives. Preservation at historically Black colleges and universities. And she'll be doing that on March the 22nd. So that's still a month out, so you don't have to worry about a sync session for this course for another month. The next thing that I want to say is that your in addition to your discussion boards being good so far, I do want to say that I've graded about a third of the first assignments, your visits to cultural heritage sites, and for the most part, those are good as well. So I think that the lowest grade that we've had so far, at least, has been a 9 out of 10, which is really, really good. And those have usually been due to the 1-point deductions that I've had have usually been to APA errors. So if you do have some errors with APA, you probably do want to go back and find that check-in video that I did on proper APA usage, and you may want to actually look at that if you didn't look at it the first time. I know these check-in videos are optional, but you may want to check that out. Okay, so aside from that, the next thing that I just want to say really quickly is that nothing really, just keep up the good work with the discussion boards. Note what I say about your first written assignments, which were your visits to cultural heritage places assignments, because your next written assignment is going to be the four heritages paper, and that will be due on, I believe, March the 13th. Let me just check. I believe that's due on March the 13th. And so if there are things that I tell you you need to correct before you turn in the second written paper, oh, that's not it. Yeah, here we go. Top 4 most important cultural heritages of the community, March the 13th. So if I've told you that you need to correct a few things, then please take note of that and have those things corrected for these second and third written assignments. So from there, yeah, let's talk about music really quickly. All right. So, yes, there are just a few things I want to say really quickly for the music module here. Again, I'll probably put up a sample review that you can look at that was done in the spring 2021 course. And that way you can just get a good idea of how to actually do the review in a formatted way that I would prefer. But yeah, each of you should be assigned if you scroll down here, and I apologize for all these section 2 things that are going on here. I had to kind of remove a few things out of there. But each of you should be assigned a documentary. If your documentary does not load, if it's been removed from wherever it was hosted, YouTube or wherever else, or if you, yes, if you were not assigned one, if you were assigned more than one, or if you cannot access the one that you were assigned for any reason, please let me know. You can let me know via email, austinj@missouri.edu, anyplace, anytime in your town, and I'll get back to you and assign you a different one. But what I want to do is just say that what I want you to do is engage in a musical style that you may not find interesting. So these documentaries were actually assigned at random. I did not try to match you up with something that I thought you were going to be interested in, and I'm going to let you know specifically why I didn't match you up with something that I specifically thought you were going to be interested in. The reason for that is I do want you all to try to embrace different types of heritage, not just something from your background. Like, for instance, me being a black man that grew up in the 90s, I grew up in the heyday of gangster rap, and I still listen to a lot of that rap to this day. Crucial Conflict, Do or Die, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Camp Lo, DJ Quick. That's what I grew up with, and that's pretty much what I love. And so, yes, I might be drawn to, like, there is a documentary on Bone Thugs and Harmony. There's an unsung documentary on Bone Thugs and Harmony that you can find on YouTube. Hold on one moment. Sorry, I stepped on my extension cord and I unplugged my computer, which I definitely don't want to do while I'm recording. So yes, yeah, so I could have found something that I thought would match up with your interests. And for one thing, that would probably be profiling on my part. Like, for instance, if I tried to match my black students up with jazz and blues and rap and that sort of thing, and tried to match my Italian student up with the documentary that focuses on a city in Italy, that would be profiling, and that's just not the thing that I should be doing. But what I want you all to do is I would like for you all to embrace different types of music, different types of heritage. Heritage is a global phenomenon. Heritage is something that all cultures have some form of. And again, one of my goals in this course is to try to bring people together, to try to show people that yes, cultural heritage it's kind of a lifeblood within humanity. It's something that just brings all of humanity together. There are universal languages within cultural heritage. All cultures honor their dead, which is why there's a cemetery module in this course. All cultures have music, which is why we have music modules. All cultures have artifacts that they claim some ownership to, which is why we have a module that focuses on ownership of cultural artifacts. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to I realize that all cultures are unique and different and beautiful, but all cultures also have similarities, and that is the central component of humanity, in my opinion. And I think that if we all just were able to embrace cultures, understand the wisdom that these cultures all preserve, if we all did that, then yes, I do believe that we would have a lot more peace in this world. And instead we have people who decide that this culture is superior to that culture. And when you do that, then you end up with people downplaying or erasing these other cultures, or even at times just co-opting or appropriating the cultures, the few elements that they do find good in a culture that they otherwise think is inferior. And so, yes, you may have, I had, I did have, like the Surrey County, documentary. I don't know who was assigned that this semester, but the person who was assigned it last semester really did not too much appreciate that they were assigned it at first, because they felt that it was something that had to do with something that they couldn't relate to. And so what I say to that is, one of the goals in this course is to expose you to some things and try to help you appreciate some things that you might not readily feel a connection to. So that's why I did not profile you and try to match you with something that I assumed you would love. I am hoping that you can find something you love in whatever documentary you were assigned. Okay. And then also another thing that I want you all to remember is you may work in places where like for instance, if you were to work at I don't know, at the Springfield, for instance, Springfield, Missouri, if you were to work at the Springfield Greene County, Missouri library, yes, that library just might not be, I've been to Springfield, no offense to anybody who lives in Springfield or is from there, but it's not the most diverse city I've ever seen of its size. Actually, for a city its size, I would say that it's actually rather not diverse, ethnically at least. But, having said that, you probably have to, if you go to work in Springfield, you might have to end up gaining an appreciation for the heritage and the history and the culture of Springfield, even if it's not a heritage that you readily would have grown up with or related to or something of that nature. So you may end up working, there may be Black students who might end up in a place like Springfield, and they may have to figure out how to appreciate the historical nuances and the cultural nuances of the people who have long been in Springfield and who were served by that library. And by the same token, I may have some students who are from, sorry to pick on a place, but I'll pick on Odessa, Missouri, because I don't think any of you are actually from Odessa. You may have grown up in Odessa, which I've been there, and actually it was kind of scary for me to be there. It was rather uncomfortable. But you might have grown up in a place like Odessa and then end up working for the public library in the city of St. Louis. And the city of St. Louis is I believe it's a majority BIPOC or person of color city. And so you may not readily relate to the hip hop culture or the blues culture of St. Louis. You may not really have this link to Nelly, for instance, or Domino, that these people who actually are from St. Louis would have. But again, you would have to learn to gain some form of appreciation for that culture in order to serve your library patrons to the best of your ability. Okay, so even if your documentary focuses on something that you don't readily relate to and something that's not really your cup of tea when it comes to music, I would implore you to go ahead and still give it a chance and, just try to embrace what you're being taught and through the documentary and enjoy the documentary. And with that, let's see if I can keep this under 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and close it right now. I am Dr. Jace, and if you are surrounded by culture, don't let it go to waste. I don't know, that's the best I could do. But for real, love you all. Have a good week. I look forward to seeing your reviews, and I hope that you all found the reviews. I mean, the reviews too. You can read your classmates' reviews, which my students last semester, they did, and they enjoyed that as well. So enjoy the reviews, enjoy the documentaries, enjoy the readings, and I will see you next week. Thank you.